Greetings, dudes. It is I am the one and only Mighty the Armadillo here.
And I'm Ray, the Flying Squirrel. We are from the likes of the Mexi Toys videos once again.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll present to you our next new Let's Play for the channel. And this time we're going to be hit on to the next entry in terms of the NES Mario games at this point in time. This one appears to be Super Mario Bros. 3, released in 1988. For the NES or Famicom, for those of you who lived in Japan. And we figured I was able to actually tackle for this game for you guys, especially that since you guys do enjoy our Let's Play of Super Mario Bros. Alongside with Super Mario Bros. 2, aka Super Mario USA, for this year so far, so that we figured I was able to do this game on the NES, so we can figure that we can able to play the original version. Now, technically, we've already experienced this game on the Super Mario All-Stars version, but I figured that we probably might able to actually do the Super Mario All-Stars redo Let's Play for the sake of next year, perhaps? So for now, let's go and jump straight into the two-player game, because I'm going to be taking control of the game, while Mighty was actually player number 1, and I'm going to be player number 2. So in some cases though, this should be fun, especially noticeable that, as you can tell, that this is actually the introduction to the world map, which obviously you go from one level to the next, so that's essentially how this goes. And here's the main emphasis on this Let's Play as far as Super Mario Bros. 3 is concerned. We'll go through every single levels of the game, so there won't be any secrets unfortunately, but I'm sure that we will able to discuss more about it until whenever we proceeding to this game. So yeah, let's get started with Super Mario Bros. 3 for the NES. And as you can see, Mighty's going to be taking control of Mario, but then since I'm going to be player 2, this means I can able to take control of Luigi. So, well, despite the fact that they all played exactly the same as each other, so there won't be any differences in when it comes to like momentum or physics or anything else like this. So in some cases though, there's not much right to harm about. So you're probably wondering to yourselves, where's the forms of WarioWare touched uploading schedule, you might be wondering. Well, the thing is though, we are slowly but surely, but about the fact the matter is though, we're actually getting pretty slowly when it comes to this uploading schedules department. So, however though, exponentially speaking though, is the fact that the entire continuation of the WarioWare Touch Let's Play will be delayed until specifically 19th of December, because we figured I was able to let Tiana just able to actually work for herself on her own time for a bit, because after all that she's almost finished up with the game, and on top of all that stuff though, it's just the fact that she literally just got about a couple of extra things left, and that'll be about it. Similar to the forms of how it does it when Mario did the same thing for the likes of, well, WarioWare Inc. Minigame Mania, so that's essentially how this works. Yeah, especially noticeable considering how the fact that, well, honestly, that she hasn't got that much, anything else left, really, before we move on to the, well, smooth moves until next year, so as a result, yeah, there's not much else to say. So anyways, now it's my turn now, and as you can tell, I'm playing as Luigi, like I said before, so we have to take turns, obviously. So in some cases though, I'm going to be hit on to level 2 now. So in some cases though, yeah, if you ever played the original Super Mario Bros. Game before, or especially noticeable as Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels even, basically you feel right at home, except the fact that the controls in this game feels a lot more smoother this time around. Certainly a lot better than Mario 2 and Mario 1, but I will admit though right away, sometimes this game can be floaty at times. Well, mainly because about the fact that, well, because of its moonlight jump, they're able to actually just to like, well, it's hard to explain really, because I know for a fact that, well, relatively speaking now, I'm just really looking forward to able to playing this game for you guys, especially noticeable about the fact that, well, exponentially speaking, that maybe at some point in the future, we can able to actually also tackle for the Super Mario All-Stars version for its, comparison graphics sake for its Super Nintendo version, despite the fact that, as I said before, we figured I was able to do a redo Let's Play of Super Mario All-Stars until specifically next year, for marks the 30th anniversary of this entire compilation, and on top of that, the Game Boy Advance version as well as a remake, or to be more specifically, the Game Boy Advance port of the Super Nintendo version of Super Mario Bros. 3, but with some unique features, mainly specifically the e-reader levels, so, but that can wait, that can definitely wait, so. Because, as you can tell, today's day is of course the, oh, there's a secret up there.
which you can able to actually find those well-hidden pink music note block. So just in case, you can able to actually find certain secrets, like coins glowing up in the skies above. So yeah, that basically, just as far as I'm aware, if we're able to mention about that stuff. So yeah, everything else will be pretty much accounted for, especially noticeable about the fact that, well, today is obviously by default, so today's date is of course the 6th of December today, in this case in 2022 today. So naturally speaking, we've only got about exactly 19 days to go until Christmas Day. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to Christmas Day, don't you think? Yeah, especially know about the fact that we actually getting very close towards the end of 2022 pretty much. So yeah, that could be the thing. So oh yeah, now we're gonna be hit on to level 4. In this case, it's my turn to get into level 4. And this is where we get ourselves the introduction to the auto-scrolling stages, where the stage is constantly moving forward, and you have to be able to keep up the pace going. And honestly, these kinds of levels are personally is my least favorite, because if you did screw up, you have to start the entire level over and over again. What's interesting about this is that this is one of those only Mario games, specifically the old school Mario games, that does not feature any checkpoints at all. So you have to go for the entire level for one specific run through, because otherwise, if you die, you have to restart the entire level all over again. So because of this though, because unlike in well, let's just say in Super Mario Bros. And Super Mario Bros. 2, the Japanese Super Mario Bros. 2, in some cases though, the lost levels, that basically though, if you manage able to continue things on, for some levels, basically though, you get yourself a checkpoint from out of nowhere if you somehow die in certain levels. Whilst in the forms of Super Mario Bros. 2, aka Super Mario USA, that basically though is the fact that, relatively speaking though, you get a checkpoint if you manage to go to the next room. And in this game though, as I said, there's no checkpoints at all, so, well, it wasn't until when Super Mario World came into play, where basically Super Mario World did somehow bring back the checkpoints, which I always appreciate about that. So anyways, now it's my turn now, on to, well, as you saw, though, I somehow managed able to visit to the Toad houses, as you can see, where basically you have to pick one of those 3 treasure chests, and basically, depending on what item you get, basically you can able to add your item into your item inventory, so that'll be useful though, especially noticeable you can able to actually just to store up your items, in case if you're having a hard time with the game so far, so anyway, so here he goes on to the first tower level in the game. So this is where about the fact that what makes this game super unique in comparison to both Super Mario Bros. And Super Mario Bros. 2 The Lost Levels, or essentially with the forms of Super Mario USA, is that certain world themes are actually like very unique back then. Despite they are commonly known for the future 2D Mario games, but back in time though, well, despite the fact that I honestly have no idea why I explained about this. So anyways, I'll go ahead and deal with this pathetically easy boss in the game, despite I just got hit. That's what appears to be Boom Boom, the introduction to Boom Boom. Yep, and then if you manage to defeat him, then basically you get your question mark object. That way, it allows you to not only destroy the tower, but also that the key lock has now been accessed. So that way, you can able to actually go back into the actual previous section whenever you wanted to. But let's not worry about that right now, because obviously we're about to able to take care of, you know, seriously? Okay, whatever. But at the very least, I find myself the actual music block, so that way I can able to grab even more coins from here. And as you can see on the bottom right corner of the screen, that basically does the fact that we got ourselves the star and the flower icons, which means every time whenever you finish the level, basically though you get one of those 3 different icons. There is the mushroom, flower, and Starman. And depending on how the icons represent, basically though you get yourselves 1-ups if you manage able to get 3 of those different kinds of icons. But there are special types of icons you can able to actually get if you manage able to get 3 of the same icons in a row. Like for example, I've almost had 3 Starman cards, but if I somehow manage to get one last Starman card, well, specifically if you get like 3 Starman cards, basically this allows me to able to give me about 5 lives. And I believe if you get 3 fire flowers in a row, I believe you get about 3 1-ups. And then if you get 3 mushrooms in a row, basically you get yourselves about 2 1-ups. So, yeah, that basically summarizes it such. So, anyway, so now it's my turn again. And this time, I'm going to be hit on to level 6. So, bottom line is, though, is the fact that this game is much longer than the first game, the second game, and the second game. Well, despite the fact that, well, relatively speaking, though, is the fact that, well, I've got nothing more to add. So, and also, short things worth noting for is the fact that Super Mario Bros. Movie should be on its way. So this also means that this is another reason why we've decided able to do this game. It's because of the Super Mario Bros. Movie should be on its way until specifically next spring sometime. So in some cases though, very looking forward to it though, despite how most people seem to still felt a bit criticizing for you know what I mean when it comes to the forms of that particular Chris Pratt voice actor for Mario, because it still sounds like completely normal as opposed to Italian voice accent. But either way though, that's as far as I can say about it. Alright, so I need to grab another item in here, so sometimes though certain treasures can be randomized, so in some cases I got myself another super leaf right there, which is always pretty swell. Yeah, in the beginning in World 1 it's actually not too bad. Oh, there's that cute little puppy dog. Although, despite the fact that the king has been transformed, so the responsible for this is the fact that this is what the game starts to introduce into ourselves, the brand newcomers, for the sake of the forms of the, well, it'll become stable in the future games until New Super Mario Bros. Wii roll around, alongside with New Super Mario Bros. 2 and U, and even especially noticeable with Mario Kart 8, and especially noticeable with Super Smash Bros. For the 3DS and Wii U, and Ultimate as well. That's what appears to be the introduction to the forms of the Koopalings. So, naturally there are all 7 of them, so as a result though, that, well, you probably get the idea of how the actual Koopalings actually looks like, so... But, have you ever heard about the forms of the TV cartoon based off from Super Mario Bros. 3? I definitely heard about it, but I haven't watched the show since, back in very long time ago. So, yeah, that's as far as I can think about it. So anyways, I'm about to take on the forms of the first Koopaling right here. I think his name was, Larry, if I recall correctly, despite the fact that I can't really tell with the actual sprite work. But I do know for a fact that he's pretty easy, especially... much like the Boom Boom sometimes, he can technically also use the fireballs in order able to deal the attack. So as a result though, he's pretty easy when you get the hang of it, so... And there we go, the first world has been completed, no deaths so far, despite we did somehow occasionally get hit by certain enemies, but aside from that, not too shabby. Yeah, especially noticeable considering how the fact that, well, you know, the first world is really easy, so... And after when you complete one of those worlds, Princess Toadstool, or Peach as we commonly known for, basically she gives you a free special item. Like for example, Mighty just got himself a P-Wing, which this allows you to able to actually fly infinitely with the forms of the Raccoon power-up. Because yes, this game was actually the introduction to the pretty cool power-up throughout the whole entire Mario history. And that's what appears to be the actual Raccoon suit, by simply able to just obtaining the Super Leaf power-up. So, pretty cool though, and that allows you to able to fly for a certain amount of time. So, and the usual power-ups are back from the likes of the previous, oh, dang it, I was so close to get 3 Starman cards in a row. Oh well, at least I got my extra life at least. And I somehow managed to able to realize that I'll be forced to play this little flipping card game. So, in some cases though, we need to flip over 2 cards of the same kind. So in some cases though, I need to find... Oh, that's not right. Oh, a fire flower. There we go. At least I got the fire flower into my inventory. Anyway, so let's go ahead and move on to... Let's go ahead and grind some more extra lives, I might add. So... Alright, fire flower. Okay, I just need to get this. No! I was too late. Oh well, not the end of the world, honestly, because the second world is also very easy too, assuming you know what you're doing, so... Anyway though, so let's just go ahead and fly about, and yeah, not much else to say really, so... Although I would like to able to mention more details on... Oh, there's a P-switch, so... which obviously turns certain blocks into coins, and that's pretty much about it in that area, so... Anyway, so let's just go and, swim. And this is also the introduction to these little slopes, so something's worth bringing things out for the sake of the level designs, so... There we go. Not too shabby for my skills as far as that's being concerned.
Anyways, now let's go and move on to the next tower level.
I think, relatively speaking, we did somehow manage able to beat the first world within the quickest time if possible, so I'm very surprised to able to know that how quickly we just went through for the first world. So I highly imagine that we can able to do 2 worlds for certain videos or something. At least assuming if depending on the forms of how long this game can be sometimes. So in some cases though, let's just see what happens there. And also this is the introduction to not only dry bones, but also boos and thwomps essentially as the introduction to those enemies. So pretty swell if I have to say so.
Oh, what the?
I'm presuming that boo from out of nowhere just somehow hit you, so...
Oh, this is great. Oh well, no big deal.
But still, you can able to take down Boom Boom within no time flat, so... Because seriously, out of all of the actual mid-bosses throughout the entire Mario series, that Boom Boom is pretty pathetic these days now.
Although, it is kind of challenging back in the day, but after playing through future Mario games, like, you know, Super Mario 3D Land, or 3D World, and heck, even especially noticeable with New Super Mario Bros. U as well, basically though, Boom Boom is now becoming extremely easy, so...
Yeah, anyway though, so let's just go ahead and move on to level 3 for my turn anyway, so we can just essentially skip some good chunks of the level, I might add, especially noticeable because every time whenever I was trying to aim... Oh, is there a secret up there? Ah, shoot. Screw you. I was gonna move on. I was not expecting to see how the fact that I've almost gonna get myself screwed over by those little block-like enemies right there, but I was gonna ignore the secrets for now because obviously, well, there's technically the secret item that you can possibly find in World 1 that allows you to able to not only skip certain worlds, but also it just gives you the ability to able to go straight into World 8 instantly. Like for instance, in level 1-3, basically though, if you manage able to crouch onto that that white block as a platform, basically though, it's the fact that if you hold down the directional pad down for a long period of time, you're able to actually go into the background, and that way you can able to actually get yourselves the warp whistle, which allows you to able to skip certain portions of the world. You know, similar to the forms of the warp zones from the likes of not only Super Mario Bros., but also the Lost Levels and Super Mario Bros. 2, depending on the forms of which potion you want able to placing onto for these little bars. So, bars as pipes, mind you, so
here we go on this next level right here, and as you can see, I was about to get chased by the angry sun, which will actually be incredibly deadly looking.
By the way, it new forms within the new Super Mario Bros. U style, with the actual angry sun design. It looks incredibly weird in the new Super Mario Bros. U style. Well, at least specifically... Oh no! I died from that gosh dang burrowing bro! Ah, that was my fault. I shouldn't see what the actual burrowing projectile is gonna come straight at me. Oh, you're trying to save me?
Yes, because no one's gonna mess up with my brother! So take that, burrowing bro. You deserve to die. And I somehow managed able to get the music box.
Yeah, what this does though is the fact that if you manage to activate that in a world map, basically though, you would able to let the Hammer Bros, or Burrowing Bros for that matter, can able to actually go to sleep. And that way you can able to actually skip bypass them. So, pretty recommendable though, apart from a couple of exceptions though, which we'll point out whenever we continue things on with this game, until specifically later on throughout the entire month. So, anyway, so another thing I would like to explain is the fact that, well, tomorrow, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe... Oh, god dang it! I jumped a little bit too late. Ah, that was totally unnecessary for my jumps. Well, I guess you know what to do, Mighty. You're gonna complete the level before I do. Ah, jeez, I'm having bad luck at this point for World 2, especially it's all began until the Boomerang Bros comes into play. So, yeah, I think I might as well able to actually get ourselves a little bit enthusiastic about it, or just being so hasty at this point. And there's a secret right up there, which not only does it skips the entire portion of the level, but also you can get a whole lot of coins from up there. Specifically, if you only manage to become Raccoon Mario. So, yeah, pretty cool I might add, for able to actually just get some more extra lives with ease. So... oh, talk of a devil! Oh, that was close. If I was small Mario, then I'll be really in trouble by now. Yeah, I know that. So anyways, now you've actually completed that level, at least for me, so... anyways, now let's move on to level 5, where this is another one of those enemies that is actually introduced by the forms of those chain jumps. So, yeah, pretty weird looking, especially noticeable how they move. So as a result, oh, there's another emphasis about the fact that this is the first Mario game that you can able to grab onto Koopa Shells, which will become stable until the future 2D Mario games, including Super Mario World, and especially noticeable with the majority of the new Super Mario Bros. Games. Although, for Super Mario World, you can able to actually aim it upwards or straight forward, whilst in new Super Mario Bros. Games, basically though, you only have to aim for 2 directions. Although, I think in Super Mario World, you can able to actually toss it into like 3 different directions, left, right, and up. So I don't think there's any downward directions. So, at least if I'm not mistaken. So, oh, hello, there's another secret eye up there. And all it gets is just basically more coins, more blocks, you name the rest. And something tells me I need a super mushroom, thank you. So I think we do need to... oh, there's a P-switch right over there. And unfortunately though, I somehow messed this up for trying to able to get up there somehow. Oh well. No big deal, but at the very least we can able to get some power-ups there, like the super leaf right there, so I'll obtain that. And head straight downwards and... oh god! That chain jump just come out of nowhere. But at least I somehow completed it. Anyways, now it's my turn for the pyramid level as far as I see downwards, but I have to deal with this, the Boomerang Bro again, so... and exponentially you get yourselves another item from here, which is a hammer. Which I think I'm about to save that until for later though. Because I think there's also another secret in this world as well, that basically though, although I'll explain more details about the forms of the Warp Whistle thing until specifically on first day, because as we mentioned this before, the continuation of the WarioWare Touch Let's Play is going to be delayed for a little bit, until specifically, as I said before, until the 19th of December, just in case we can able to actually just to catch up on, you know, recording sessions alike. So, anyway, so let's go and take care of the pyramid level, which I'm about to do right here, so... now, whenever I first played this, I think that was on the Game Boy Advance version, if I recall, that for whatever reason, I just somehow get stuck on this level for the longest time. But then I found out that in order able to progress, that not only do I have to use the Buzzy Beetles in order able to break those blocks, but you can also use the Raccoon Tail in order able to actually break those blocks too. So, that might be something as far as this is concerned, so... oh, and by the way, specifically on the NES version and the Super Nintendo version most likely, you can also able to actually play the 2-player versus mode. Specifically, that's entirely based off from Mario Bros. From the likes of the forms of, you know, where you're trying to defeat all kinds of enemies and stuff like that, for all the step creepers and all whatever. Basically, though, that was there on the NES or the Super Nintendo version, so I don't think there's any the case for the Game Boy Advance version, if I recall. So, anyway, so let's see what's in here. Oh boy, more coins. I like the sound of that. Well, despite the fact that I accidentally break too many blocks, but that's fine for me. Because, conveniently enough, we're almost done with World 2 already. But then eventually until World 3 and onwards though, it gets a bit lengthy and long, especially noticeable that we might able to actually come across into, not one, but I believe we'll stumble across into 2 tower levels in each world. Well, apart from 2 world exceptions though, which is of course, World 1 and World 2, because both of those worlds do manage to contain 2 towers. Oh, no, 1 tower, sorry. I keep thinking about the future worlds, so, whoops.
Anyway, so now it's my turn. On to the final level in World 2.
Yep, and from here, oh god, that king just somehow turned into, I would say like a spider? So in some cases though, yeah, there's another one of those new types of level themes that is actually introduced in this game, which appears to be those airship levels, which they are pretty much like kind of a tough levels throughout the game, and because of this though, everything else about these kinds of levels wants you dead. Like, I'm serious, there's more cannons, and especially noticeable there's tons of bullet bills trying to shoot at you, flamethrowers, and especially noticeable there's a lot of bottomless pits sometimes, and worst of all, each level actually contains an auto-scrolling, so again, if you screw up, this means you have to do the entire level over and over again. But, if you do die in any of the airship levels in mind, basically though, what happens was that the airship will decide to able to fly into different spots. So in some cases though, it's up to you to able to actually just to, well, catch up, and then you're gonna have to able to find the airship level again by navigating through the world map itself. So as a result though, that you have to be very cautious with these kinds of levels. Oh god, those rock wretches, they just appeared.
Anyway, let's go and take on the next Koopaling, which appears to be Molten Koopa Jr., as far as I can tell from that different color scheme of that Koopaling. So, again, pretty easy to take down, especially noticeable, just only 3 stomps on the head, and there we go, the second wand has been recovered, thanks to me.
And I'm very surprised for you, Mighty, is the fact that you didn't die once so far, although exponentially it gets a bit difficult for you, until later on though.
Oh yeah, that's right, because eventually though, that's whenever we get into World 3 though, we'll save that conversation until whenever we get to that Unduring at some point in this first day, as you know, so...
There we go, World 2 has been completed, so naturally we've completed 2 of those worlds in one video, which is pretty cool I might add. So anyway, so with that being said though, we'll go ahead and end things off this point right here, so join us next time for more Let's Play of Super Mario Bros. 3, and that is the fact that we'll move on to, speaking of 3, here we go on to World 3, which appears to be the Waterland. So, that might be saying something, so I'll see you guys on Thursday.
Later, dudes.